leadership on this issue.
Well, Liam, I mean, Trump is technically in the same place, of course, where Harris is in the state of Michigan. He was in Detroit. He had a significant audio issue, though, today, which took about 18 minutes or so to resolve. Listen to what happened.
Now what happens is I won't pay the bill for this stupid company that rented us this track. So let me know, and if it goes out again, I'll sue the ass off that company.
I mean, clearly, you lose 18 minutes of time to talk to a crowd 18 days before an election. Forget that he spent 39 minutes dancing last time with perfect audio available. This is a pretty important moment for him, though, and the idea of having a disruption like this and his response, how does that play for the electorate?
I think there's only so much that an actual rally matters. You know, we pick it apart and that kind of thing. But if you're thinking about why he's in Michigan, this is a really critical state. The math, the 15 electoral votes that represents, that is devastating to the electoral math for Kamala Harris. That's why she's there as well. It's been overshadowed by the focus on Pennsylvania, which may well be the tipping point state. But Michigan's really important. And if you look at what's happening in the polls, there's been a shift of about a point and a half over the last month. Most of that happened in the last weeks. The polls have been really, really good for him. So whatever's happening on a day-to-day basis, he is gaining, and the real question is, what is going to be the kind of threshold for victory? Can he get over that 48%, 49% that he's shown he can get in 2020, but he hasn't quite got over that hump? So being out there, making sure that he can communicate with these last voters, actually keep voters away from Kennedy, because remember, Kennedy's still on the ballot. This could be the place where he closes the deal, and it really would become hard to come back for Harris.
You think voters would still be casting a ballot for Kennedy, even though he is clearly not in the race, just as a kind of maybe a protest or not you vote? Just
as stray votes, things happen. I mean, any vote that could be theoretically cleaved away from a person who would otherwise be voting for Trump would be problematic. It's why Bobby's been on the trail with him saying, don't vote for me. But it's just one of those confounding factors. In the same way that Kamala Harris has to contend with things like the Gaza situation, the dynamics with the Arab American community, the Kennedy issue, I think, is one that Trump has to keep an eye on.
I mean, he says he's not exhausted, he's not even tired, but the pace of the rallies, trying to make it swing in that way, this might contribute to any of that?
Well, I think he's obviously pretty grouchy. I mean, you watched him on the Fox and Friends thing this morning. I think you're seeing two things happening. Number one, both campaigns understand that less is more for Donald Trump. The less he does, the better that is for Donald Trump. She's trying to needle him. She's trying to draw him out, provoke things that will cause him to do himself harm. He's his own worst enemy right now, and I think both campaigns understand that ceding the floor to Kamala Harris, the Trump campaign thinks that's good for them. The Harris campaign thinks they can close the deal.